So it happened again. The YouTube channel went dark on me again after an hour. I thought I fixed it, but I don't know. I guess I don't know. So I switched. I went to a different thing and I switched. I'm live somewhere else on a different stream. You're back after refreshing? All right, good. Let's hope we get a lot of people back. Hi, Deanna. I was talking to Sherry. This is so frustrating when this happens. You know, hopefully more people come back. So we'll give it a few minutes. Hi, Christopher. I'm glad you're back. I'm going to put a check mark next to your name so that I know you're here. And hopefully more people come back. Hello, hello. Monk Chill, what is your first name, by the way? Since I have you here, just a few of us, what is your first name? So that way I can write it down. Hi, Kelly, you're back. Rachel. Rochelle. Rachel or Rochelle? I'm going to put Rachel. Kelly is back. Yay, Kelly is back. Looking for Sherry. Rachel. Got you. Yippee, I'm back. Crystal is back. All right, Crystal. Okay, we're slowly getting people back. We're slowly getting people back. Rachel, so good. So glad you let Melissa, you're back. Yay, you're back. Melissa, you're back. Right. American Abstract, you're back. You're back. I'm looking for Sherry. Hopefully she comes back. I feel terrible. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Colin, you're back. Yay! We're still looking for Jackie, Stephanie, Aaron, Letitia, Colleen, and Sherry. Hi, welcome. Oh my gosh, that is so frustrating. Tisha, got you. Tisha. Got you. Tisha, got it, Tisha. I understand. Thank you for correcting me. They just announced it, so they are on the other one. Okay. Gosh, it is so frustrating. I don't know how to fix that, so hopefully it doesn't happen again. Right? Hi, Christina. Jackie, you're here. Yay! All right. My goodness. Hi, Dorothy. So welcome back, everyone. Sherry, I hope Sherry comes back. I feel terrible. I was right about to read her cards, and boom, it went down. Jackie is here. I got that. Okay, so we're still looking for Stephanie. Tisha's here. Colleen, those are the only two we're looking for. Stephanie and Colleen and Sherry. Oh, well, thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. Becoming Amwala. Tell me your first name, friend. Becoming Amwala. Tell me your first name. I feel like when people watch this replay, they're going to be like, oh my God, this is so weird. No, I'm glad you're back. Sherry. Oh, there you are. All right, Sherry, let's get into your cards, okay? Because we were done with everything else. We'll get into your cards. I'm sorry that your reading was split in two, but it's okay, all right? So here are your cards, Sherry. My guides want you to understand that you are learning a lesson in self-sufficiency. This means allowing yourself to grow even though other people around you are stubbornly staying where they are. This is part of your path. This is part of what you're learning. The job you have ahead of you is to stay out of your head about this and allow yourself to get away from taking on the responsibility. This puts you into a state of recovery. Again, walking away from the feeling of taking on responsibility that doesn't necessarily belong to you. This may require a little bit of introspection on your end. That may be true, but it will absolutely lead you to this feeling of joyous occasion, followed up, more importantly, even by feeling balanced in that hard space. So that feeling of heavy emotional stuff that you're feeling, they want you to know it's not misplaced. You're feeling it purposely, but you'll be okay. You'll come through it just fine. You just have to give yourself a little bit of time to do that, okay? Sherry, again, I couldn't apologize more. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you. Hey, Meta. Hey, Chrissy. Yeah, I don't, Thank you, everyone, for your patience and for coming back and finding me. I truly appreciate it. Missing a whole nother day would not be helpful for me. All right, Jennifer, I see you, and you are on the list right after Colin. So let's update this list, shall we? All right, Colleen is next. Hopefully she's here with us. Hi, Chrissy. You got a call right in the middle of that mess too? Oh, perfect timing. So Colleen is up next, and then Melissa, Tisha, Chris, if Erin is here. Hopefully Erin is here. So it's Colleen, Melissa, Tisha, Erin, Crystal, Rachel, Kelly, Stephanie, Jacqueline, Colin, and Jennifer. I only have 2 spots left. Please be patient. Please be patient. Hello from New Mexico and welcome. Hi, Colleen. I see you. I am so excited to read for you. Meta, do you watch Vince Gilligan stuff? All his stuff takes place in Albuquerque, which I find is so interesting. All right, Colleen, I am excited to read for you, my friend. Thank you so much for your patience and for coming back. I appreciate it. Yes, if you haven't hit the like, please hit the like. All right, Colleen, do me a favor. Take a nice, big, deep breath in. So much yellow in your energy. All the way down to your toes and release. Drop your shoulders and please give me permission to have access to your energy. So Colleen, as I tap into your energy, it is full of yellow, this bright, sunshiny, beautiful yellow. It has a little bit of a feeling of fire to it, like a hot yellow. So yellow is the color of the solar plexus. It's the seat of how we see ourselves in the world. It's also the home to creative expression. You have a little bit of a traffic jam in your throat, all right? So I want to be very clear when I say there's nothing blocked in your energy, nothing that I see blocked. I do feel a little bit of a slow down or a traffic jam right here. Okay, so this serves 2 purposes. Not only does it help you manifest into your physical environment things that you bring forward from the 5D, but it also helps you to express yourself. One feeds the other. If you're holding back on expressing yourself or speaking up for yourself or giving your voice weight, if that makes sense, giving your voice weight, if you're holding back from that, it will prevent you from cleanly being able to manifest something because there's some issue in here that needs to be worked on, and I kind of feel like that's what's going on. The issue is not in the creative process. Whatever the idea is, it's a good idea. Whatever it is, it's a good idea. Although it will go through multiple iterations, I think it'll evolve over time. You have a good idea. You're holding yourself up here, and it feels like there's a fear or a worry around expressing myself in a certain situation that is inadvertently feels unconnected but is connected, keeping me from bringing into physical manifestation something that I want to bring forward. Think of it like a radio station. Right now, because you are not dealing with the tower that's broken, you can't receive the signal clear enough to manifest something out there, right? So you have to fix the tower so that you can receive clearly, so that you can do this, right? I can't say specifically what the instance is, but there's this big push to want you to express yourself, to say the thing, to get it out of the way, to not be afraid, to not worry about other people's perceptions or something, even if it feels small to you. Because there's power in the idea of when someone asks you what you want for dinner and say, instead of saying whatever you want when you actually want to have spaghetti, there's power in saying, well, I would like to have spaghetti, but being open to the idea that maybe they don't like it. So instead of preemptively telling yourself they would be mad at you for saying what you say, give them the opportunity to respond in a favorable way. And I think think there's people around you that will surprise you with the amount of support they have for you. People see you changing. I need you to understand this. All right, Colleen? People can see you changing. Abby, I see you. They just don't know how to articulate what they're looking at because it's frequency based. So don't be afraid, friend. Maybe you're opening the door for people by being brave enough to take that first step, right? So this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. Colleen, my guides want you to understand that whatever this is that you're struggling with, you're going to come through this just fine. It's just lining you up for this new beginning. This stepping into something better for yourself. On the other side of this new beginning is a definite feeling of reliability. This is King of Pentacles, not necessarily about money, but about a feeling of stability, reliability, support. That's what's on the other side of that. They want you to know, keep yourself as balanced as possible so that you can continue to move forward, and you will find that you have much more support than you think you do. You are literally forging and walking into a brighter future for yourself. But there's this hang up in here around saying or standing up for yourself or something. And they need you to stop doing that, or to at least recognize that you're doing it so you can restructure or something. I don't know how else to put that. But Colleen, thank you again for allowing me to read for you, friend. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you. Thank you. I hope it was helpful. Hey, Whitney, welcome, like a mom. Yes, not believing in yourself, that's a big one, because there's power in your voice. So speak with what you know to be true, and don't worry about if someone else thinks it's true. That's a big hang up for a lot of people, right? Is we don't say it because what if they don't buy it? What if they don't believe it? What if? There's always going to be a what if. That's something you got to remember. There's always going to be a what if. There's not always going to be a you. So take advantage. All right. Melissa, you are next. Come on down. After Melissa is Tisha, then Erin, if she's here. I hope she's here. Then Erin, Crystal, Rachel, Kelly, Stephanie, Jackie, Colin, Jennifer, and Abby. That is the list. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for coming back. Hopefully it doesn't happen again, but I'm doing the best I can. All right, so thank you again, everybody. I really appreciate it. Melissa, you're up, and I know you're in here, so give me 2 seconds because I put my cards in here backwards, so I gotta fix them real quick. All right, got it. Again, the replay will be up on YouTube. It'll be in 2 parts for today. Sorry, that's how it works. All right, Melissa. Thank you. I'm glad you love the sweater. Thank you. Okay, so Colleen, the thing about it's hard to be truthful with those who are not waking up, that's not necessarily the case. Be truthful and let go of your need for them to A, understand, and B, agree. Because regardless if they can understand or agree, it is still the truth. You don't have to shove it down their throat. You don't have to put it in their face. But you're not, just because you're not changing what you're saying doesn't mean you know what I'm saying? Like, what you said is a little different, a little off vibrationally. It's the best thing you can do is be there when they're ready to hear it, right? Be there when they're ready. All right, Melissa, I'm ready to read for you, friend. Thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate you. All right, Melissa, here we go. Do me a favor, take a nice big deep breath in all the way down to your toes. Release. Drop those shoulders, and please give me permission to have access to your energy. So Melissa, I'm looking at like a river, right? I feel as though, so rivers almost always represent a feeling of momentum. For some reason, I feel like I'm standing on the shore or on the bank of the river and not necessarily in the river. I don't really have the perception that I'm holding myself there. I feel as though I go in and out of this momentum, and it's very normal. The things on the bank of the river are things that our physical life are associated with, obligations, expectations, stuff. And then the river is the momentum of your energy, where it's carrying you, what the current looks like. I feel like you're doing a pretty good job of going back and forth between the two. Just be mindful that you don't spend too much time on the shore, right? It feels as though there's some contrast that's coming forward in your space, especially a little bit further ahead, momentum-wise. So again, I know there's holidays coming up, so I hate to use that, but that's what it feels like. It feels like there's some kind of contrast that comes forward with the holidays. It feels like old, worn contrast, not something new, not something novel, not something you haven't dealt with before, but something you have dealt with before that gets revisited. And it feels as though it's an opportunity for you to actually let go of it, because you're more in a place to do that now than you were last time you revisited this. I don't know what it is. They're showing me literally the ghost of Christmas past. I don't know what it is. It just feels like that ghost that's kind of always hanging around. It's ready to be dealt with. It's ready to be released. It's ready to be let go of, because you've evolved beyond anything that needs to hold on to that. And there's a bittersweet feeling in that, almost it's almost like the satisfaction in recognizing that your muscles are sore from working out, right? It hurts, it's sore, it's stiff, but there's a satisfaction in that soreness. I recognize why it's there, because I worked to release whatever, or because I did whatever. So I can't see exactly what it is, but I would encourage you that when it comes forward, that you let it out, that you don't, hold on to it too tightly. All right, Melissa, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. They want to confirm that you have a lot more mental clarity than you did this time last year, and that it's time to reassess whatever this is. As it rises to the surface, look at it through the lens of your heart space and allow yourself to let it go. Give it a kiss goodbye and send it on its way. This will put you into a state of feeling like you're recovering from this. This will also give you a sense of victory, a feeling of I did it, accomplishment, ownership. That's important. That comes with it. It also helps to keep you in a balanced state with your heart, and helps to usher you into a time of renewal, okay? My guides tell me that your dreams and desires are much closer at hand than you think they are. You're just letting go of some things that maybe you've been holding on to for too long, that have been weighing you down a little bit, or keeping your frequency tuned to the wrong end of the spectrum, right? So just the idea of letting it go. Just let it flow away. You say, Melissa says, girl, wow, I was just talking about how I'm done with gifts for Christmas, but my daughter and my friend said, but what about your mom? And I said, no, she never does for me, so I'm overdoing for everyone. I have them 36 years now, and it's on my time. Yes, there you go. See? There you go. All right, Melissa, thank you very much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate you so very much. I need to take my vitamin. Hold on. I almost forgot. I got it. All right. Tisha, you are next. Come on down, friend. All right, Tisha. Hello, my friend. I am so excited to read for you. Thank you for your patience. 3634. All right, Tisha, here we go. Do me a favor. Take a nice, big, deep breath in all the way down to your toes. And release. Drop those shoulders, and please give me permission to have access to your energy. So please pardon if there's a lot of spice that comes with this one. And I'm doing a lot more direct channeling. So it's not necessarily me saying a lot of this. I'm not trying to use it as an excuse, but I can feel the spice in this, all right? When I tap into your energy, the very first thing I recognize, Tisha, is there is a feeling of, I hesitate to use the word repression, right? Because that has a connotation of someone actively working to hold you back. And I don't necessarily think it's that. I think there have been multiple circumstances throughout your life experience here in this environment that have repressed you from the ability to grow into the bigger version of yourself. And while I don't think it's necessarily any one person or any one thing, that it became so practiced or something you came to expect that you just started to preemptively do it yourself, right? And I feel like this started way back, okay? They're giving me the way back signal, like way back, right? So this can be in childhood, especially as a girl in a school, okay? If you are smart, back when I was a kid, that made you a nerd. It didn't make you good, it made you bad. You were a nerd. How dumb is that? Looking back, oh my gosh, right? But I constantly held myself back. I constantly never rose my hand. I constantly questioned what I thought I knew because I was taught that being smart was stupid or being smart was bad. And I didn't want to be associated with that. I didn't want to be looked at that way. I was such a lack of confidence that anything that added to it was not going to be something I did, right? So I don't know that it's that specifically, but there is a feeling of an overall sense of heavy suppression when you were in your formative years, so to speak. And as you moved into the adult life, the summative period of your life, right? Everything you learned, you're now applying, right? Formative, summative. Can you tell I'm an educator? Everything that you're applying into your life now, you've carried forward some of these principles because your frequency, like you've trained it to think it's normal, right? You've trained it to think that that's just how it is. But I need you to understand it's not. You are far smarter and more capable than other people have led you to believe you are. And I understand that sometimes it can feel frustrating when you know things but can't understand how to explain that you know them. But what we as a society are trying to move towards is the understanding that energy is information and energy comes from multiple sources. You don't have to read a book to be the only place to get that source of information, right? So there's very much this feeling of wanting you to realize that, okay? It may be that you're having conversations with the wrong people at the wrong time, sure, but it doesn't mean you're wrong. And I feel like I need you or want you to embrace your empowerment and just recognize that there's some people that what you're saying is going to be so out of tune with where they are that you could do sign language and they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. You could do signal filers. They're not going to get it. Stop running yourself ragged trying to get them to get it, right? Worry about you. And as you naturally move on the dial of frequency, you start to attune yourself to things that resonate with the other end of the frequency and it feels better. Okay. Tisha, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. There's confirmation number one. You have a lot of lost confidence and it feels like it's been there for a long time. And while you are working your way through it, it rears its ugly head a lot. They want to confirm you have a strong connection to your higher self. You have for a long time. There's no reason for you to question that. They're asking you to be a little bit nicer to yourself. A little bit nicer in the way you speak to yourself and the way you perceive things around you, right? You have more power than you give yourself credit for. Allow yourself to recognize that some of the people around you may not be the best people to work with. It's okay. It's okay. As you recognize this, what happens is the tower starts to come down and all of those things that you felt were so important 5 minutes ago suddenly start to become not nearly as weighted, not nearly as important because they don't have the purpose, they don't have the power to shape your day, only you do, right? And as you start to slowly realize that, what happens is you step into a state of progress and you start to move through this field of expansion that's being offered to you. What's required of you now is the discipline to keep taking each step, even though you're not sure what the next one's going to look like. This leads to a feeling of victory. I did it. I trusted myself. I finally believed enough in myself to trust what I was receiving, as well as starting a brand new beginning with a stronger foundation that's built around what you want to see in your life. Tisha, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, friend. I appreciate it. I only have one spot left on the list. Readings are $25 US, Venmo or PayPal, Consciously Erin, easy to find me, or you can copy and paste the link that's in the description of this video. I do only have one spot left for today or for the rest of the week. I will not be live on any platform after today. Just keep that in mind. I do offer private sessions. They are very limited for the month of December. Very, very limited. So if there's an opening, take it. All right. Tisha, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I had a vibration through my body during that entire read. Yes, absolutely. I do love the cards, right, Chrissy? Did I send you cards? I have a memory of sending you cards, Chrissy. Did you ever get them? Is that correct? Is that incorrect? Am I completely making that up? Am I completely making that up? Oh, I did. Okay. I'm glad I'm not just making it up. All right. Erin. Is Erin in the room? Looking for Erin. You know, sometimes I'll tell you guys a real thing that happens, and I have a friend who has precognition. Okay, this is not something I have. My friend has precognition, and a lot of people think that's something you want access to. You do not. It is completely overwhelming to their system. It's like the circuit board has too much energy running through it, and it is very disruptive to their lives. And I don't think that people recognize the other side of things. We see things on movies and we think that's what it's like, but it's not necessarily like that. Precognition is a heavy weight to carry. Think about how it would feel if you had if you knew you had precognition and you're having dreams one after the other of someone you love getting into a car accident, knowing they're not going to change their daily routine if you said that, right? Imagine the weight of that knowledge moving forward, not knowing when, just knowing it's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's incredibly difficult to deal with. So be careful what you wish for, right? But just to get back on to what I was saying, I struggle with sometimes understanding what was a vision and what was reality because I can't remember them clearly. So I don't remember if we had the conversation or I just thought we had the conversation. You know what I mean? And it happens a lot. All right, so Erin, is Erin in the room? Looking for Erin. If Erin is not here, then Crystal will be next. Then Rachel, Kelly, Stephanie, Jackie, Colin, Jennifer, and Abby. That is the list. Is Erin in the room? Do we know if Erin's in the room? I think it's hard because I don't know if her name is Erin. You know? All right. Crystal, is Crystal here? Come on down, Crystal. I am excited to read for you, friend. Crystal is next. Then Rachel, Kelly, Stephanie, Jackie, Colin, Jennifer, and Abby. Hi, Meg. Hi, Crystal. I see you. All right, then I'll refund Erin later. All right, Crystal, here we go. I got you. All right, Crystal, do me a favor. Take a nice, big, deep breath in all the way down to your toes. Release. Drop those shoulders, and please give me permission to have access to your energy. So, Crystal, when I look at your energy, it looks good. Like there's no one area that I feel like I can point to and say this needs work or you need to pay attention to this or anything like that. But I feel like you feel like there's something missing or like you need to know something. And I don't think that's the case. And I'm not sure where that's coming from. When I look at your energy objectively, not being part of the system, but outside of the system, I can see that it's working. It's pretty coherent. There are some slowdowns in your energetic areas. That's normal. And I think that's based on what's going on around you. I think that the chaos around you has gotten a little bit louder recently, and that could have something to do with holidays. I don't know. But it makes it harder to stay centered when the outside chaos is louder, right? That said, I don't see anything in your energy that's like, oh, this is broken, you need to fix this or tune to this or whatever. I don't get that. There's no sense of that at all. So that's encouraging. I think you're looking, so often our spiritual growth process for me, I've been shown kind of comes like a pendulum swing. There are times where we feel like we're moving very quickly and times where we're kind of down in the gully, and then we feel like we're moving very quickly and then we're down in the gully. Right now you're just in this space where you're gathering speed, like you're charging your battery, so to speak. There is nothing in your energy that I can point to and say, fix this, do that, whatever. Doesn't mean you don't feel a sense of dissonance, because I can feel it. And it's almost like I feel like I need something to explain to me why I feel this way, but I, from an outsider, can't see it, and I don't think it's originating from you. See what I'm saying? I think it's coming from something outside of you that you've told yourself belongs to you, or you have a tie to of some kind. But I don't know. All right. All right, Crystal, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I have already said. They're telling me that it's not you. Look at all this confirmation. It's not you. It's something outside of you that's causing this feeling, and they're asking you to make a better choice on where you're focused. Like literally, they're telling you, stop fighting it. You don't have to fix or address or carry this. And you're trying too hard to like practical your way through something. Part of your awakening experience is recognizing that there are some things that are just out of your control that you can't do anything about, and that's okay. But you have to let go of your disappointment so that you can move forward. Turn towards that creative vision as things feel like they're flowing better, and this will disrupt that tower for you. It will disrupt the tower. It'll help you move forward a little bit better. If there is a Pauline in this room, I don't know who or what you sent money to, but I'm getting an email saying I need to create an account in order to accept the money from you. And I'm sorry, I have an account, so I am not going to be creating a new account. I am looking at my PayPal and there is no payment from Pauline, so I would encourage you to cancel that. I will not be creating a new PayPal account. Okay, it's under Consciously Aaron or Aaron Brown. It's not my email. Okay, Pauline, please check that. All right, Crystal, thank you. I hope that was helpful, friend. Thank you so much. Pauline, okay, here's the thing, Pauline. I got an email that says I have to create a brand new PayPal account to accept money from you, and I can't do that. I already have a PayPal account. This is what it looks like, right? This is what it looks like. Let's see. I'm trying to click on it. It has this picture, right? See the little thing? It's under Aaron Brown and at Consciously Aaron, right? That is my account. I can't create a second account to do that. So please go cancel that. Please go cancel that, okay? Crystal, thank you. All right. Still no Aaron? Still no Aaron. All right. All right. Rachel, you are next. After Rachel is Kelly, Stephanie, Jackie, Colin, Jennifer, and Abby. Come on down and say hello. Yes, please, Colleen, go and cancel that. And there's something else. You got to do something else. All right. Rachel, say hello, friend. Come on down and say hello. Hi, Monk Chill. There you are. All right, Rachel, here we go. Oh, interesting. Here we go. Do me. So don't use the $sign. Use the @ sign. Don't use the $sign. Use the @ sign. And it's under Aaron Brown. Aaron Brown. Sorry, I was trying to show it to you, but I don't have a way to do that. All right. Okay, here we go. I apologize, Rachel. Let's do this. Do me a favor, take a nice big deep breath in all the way down to your toes. And release. Drop those shoulders and please give me permission to have access to your energy. So, Rachel, it looks to me like you're coming into your season. So when I come into your energy, I have this sense of being in a house, right? I understand the house represents a comfort zone, but opening the shutters and this fresh breeze coming in. Now there feels like a reason that I closed the shutters, and this feels like it happened a long time ago. Something like this can happen when we have children, right? We have to put away the things that we have connections to sometimes so that we can raise our children and all the obligation that comes with it. I don't know that you have kids. I don't know what's going on there, but there's this feeling of at some point you made a conscious decision that I'm going to stay where I am. I'm good here. And you close those blinds, and that's totally fine. And it feels like you were good for a while, but now you have opened the blind. I can't see what triggered that moment. I can't see what made you open the blinds, but I can feel the feeling of opening the shutters and that cool breeze rushing in, and this realization, like I feel like she's looking out the window and her eyes turned white, and there's this realization of, oh, that's what's been missing, right? This is not like a learning something new. This feels very much like a rediscovery of something. And opening this shutter, whatever this is, reconnecting to whatever this aspect of self that's trying to come forward, brings fresh life or fresh air into your space and reinvigorates a lot of things that have gotten sort of like foggy along the way, right? So I don't know. I wish I could tell you what it is. It feels though that whatever this connection to that you have, whatever that's coming through the window, you've always had a connection to this. At some point, you made a conscious choice to put it on the back burner in order to do something else over here. There's nothing wrong with that, but whatever you are doing over here seems to have either resolved itself or gotten to a point where you aren't so actively involved in it that you can open the shutters on the window and let in some of that cool breeze. Letting in that cool breeze is going to reinvigorate that space. And I feel like there's this feeling of a flood of ideas and, oh, new things I want to do. And it's a good time to do them. Do you see what I'm saying? I feel like I want to tell you that there's nothing that you did was wrong. There's no such thing as wasted time here. You did what you needed to do in the moment, but now is your opportunity to step forward into something that feels more aligned with you and where you want to go, okay? So my guides tell me there's a little bit of self-evaluation that needs to come through so that you can figure out the direction you want to go. And then once you decide what the breeze coming through the window is going to represent, have the discipline to move into that direction, right? This is you reconnecting with the spiritual side of yourself after years and years of doing stuff for other people or filling a void or something. My guides tell me there's a ton of potential in this energy, lots of it, but they're asking you to let go of some sort of disappointment around the idea of I should have done this sooner or better or faster or something. Let go of all of that, because what it leads to is a feeling of joyous occasion and celebration, a feeling of all the pieces coming together, and a feeling of making progress on the road finally. My guides tell me you have all the pieces, all the components, everything is there. They're just waiting for you to take the actual step in that direction. Ooh, Rachel, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope it was helpful, friend. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you, and I hope it was helpful. You have 3 boys. This really resonates. Yes, I understand. I totally get it. Kelly, hello. I see you, and you are next. Pauline, I got you. There you are, friend. And you got that last spot. Fantastic. We're good, Pauline. When she comes back, make sure we let her know, okay? Kelly, I see you. After Kelly is Stephanie, Jackie, Colin, Jennifer, Abby, and Pauline. Kelly, before I even begin your reading, I want you to understand the card flipped out all by itself, and it's all about starting a new journey. I love this, right? My list for today and the rest of this week is actually full. Pauline got that last spot, but hang around because sometimes readings resonate. But here we go, Kelly. I'm excited to read for you. You're stepping out onto a path, friend. That's very exciting. Do me a favor, take a nice big deep breath in all the way down to your toes. Release. Drop those shoulders. And please give me permission to have access to your energy. So Kelly, what's going to hold you back is needing to understand everything before it can happen. That's going to slow you down and hold you back. Your metaphysical world is not like your physical world. It's not about I need to read all the instructions before I use this tool so that I understand it completely. No. The way you use your intuitive tools is intuitively. It's not about how do I use this, what do I do, am I doing it right, am I doing it wrong? It's about allowing it to flow through you, understanding that in the spiritual side of things, there are no clear definitions. While we use them to bring clarity to concepts, it doesn't mean that in practicality, they're all separate. Very contrary, they're all together. Your clairs are just like playing the piano. Anyone can learn to play the piano. Some people require a whole lot of practice, and some people are very natural when they sit down. But all people can learn how to play the piano. The amount of work it takes is dependent upon your resonant frequency and has nothing to do if you're good or bad. It's just what's you're attuned to, right? So don't be discouraged if that attuning means you have to put a little bit of work in. It's okay. It doesn't mean it's a failure, not by a long shot. You have all of the clairs. So stop asking, which clair do I have? Which one should I work on? You have all of the clairs and they mush together into this beautiful sort of soup of information. The way you receive it shifts a little bit based on where your frequency is sitting within your range. I think a lot of the time that you allow the noise outside of you to shift your frequency outside of alignment with things that feel better. Not that you do it on purpose, but because it's easier than fighting to keep it lined with something better. Surround yourself with things that feel better and it won't feel like such a fight, okay? Kelly, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. This is your opportunity. They're calling you forward. Please stand in your authenticity. That means surround yourself with things that help you feel good. Surround yourself with ideas that help you feel motivated and inspired, and allow your intuition to talk to you. Don't get too in your head about is it this, is it that. It is all of the above and none of the above. So don't get too caught up in the definitions. Everything that you're with your family is going to be fine. This means stable, right? This means everything's okay here. Take them off of your list of things to worry about and worry about keeping yourself aligned better. I know that you are reluctant to do that because you tell yourself you have 10,000 other things you have to do. But sometimes part of the process is allowing yourself to feel vulnerable enough to go through with what you know you need to do for yourself. What that does is fosters a sense of inner strength, knowing when you do and don't need to go within, but it requires patience of you to learn how to sort of listen to that frequency. This is really, Kelly, this is about learning to just trust yourself for a minute, you know, trust yourself about what you're receiving and don't be so hard on yourself about everything. All right. Kelly, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate it. Spirit was testing, do I really want this reading? I got it, I got it. What does that say? I just had a dream about you. It was very interesting. You really wanted one of those 5 puppies of homeless, this dog that lived in a school bus. Oh, I wanted to rehome one of the homeless puppies? Aw. I would do that. All right. Stephanie, you are next. Come on down and say hello. You are next, Stephanie. I know you're here. There you are. Hello, spider. All right, Stephanie, I am ready to read for you, friend. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate you. All right, do me a favor, take a nice big deep breath in all the way down to your toes. And release. Drop those shoulders, and please give me permission to have access to your energy. Stephanie, when I look at you, I very clearly see a lot of orange, which in this case is significant for role change. This is going to have an outward physical manifestation to it. I don't know how close it is, but it's close enough that I can see it and feel it. Orange is the color of the sacral chakra. It's the home of the roles that we fulfill and the relationships that are the result of the roles that we fulfill. There is a shift happening in some of the roles that you fill that is changing the way you interact with some people, okay? So this feels as if coming closer in alignment with where I want to go, shifting some roles that I'm in, not necessarily better or worse. This feels like a lateral type of shift. I'm just not going to do this, but I'm going to take on a little bit more of this kind of thing. You're just moving laterally in your frequency, and this feels like a good choice or a good decision that you have made. I do feel like there's a group of people. I don't know how big the group is. I want to say it's more than one person for sure. But less than 50 people. I don't know how many it is, but there's a feeling of this little nugget of people that feel uncomfortable, or they don't like this choice or this decision that you make. And so there's this pushback against it, and this feeling of, oh no, you don't kind of thing. Friend, there's no need in fighting with them. They're not listening. You cannot win a war with someone who's not willing to participate, right? So the feeling is find another way when this comes up. And again, this feels very physical in nature, and it might have something to do with a job, a house, or something like that. There's an obstacle put on the path, and I feel like your first instinct is to work through it. They are not listening. Whomever it was that put the obstacle there are not interested. It's not for you to work through. It's a redirection. So there's another way that I feel like this obstacle is trying to call your attention to. And again, it feels very physical in nature. Well, I can't tell you exactly what it is. It does feel very, very physical, an outward facing role. Stephanie, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. They want you to understand that this instability in your space is simply because you're feeling that little bit of rumble from the redirection in your energy coming up. They're asking you not to stop believing that you've made the right choice and that you're moving in the right direction. Just recognize that you're being redirected in a different way. This is so that you can call together the tools you need to help you be successful on this next thing and give you back a feeling of empowerment where before you have handed it over. This tells me that the tower of belief is coming down around you, especially around the idea that you have to have someone help you do something, or that you need their approval or something. That tower of disbelief is starting to come down because it belongs back in your childhood where it was formed. My guides tell me that you do a good job of keeping yourself aligned. That doesn't mean things won't be difficult. Contrast is how we learn. So buckle down and do the work. Don't look for the easy way out, but recognize that sometimes all it takes is patience and looking for a different route. Okay, that feels important. Looking for a different route. Allow your creative vision to be what guides you through whatever this roadblock is that's coming up. Ooh, I just got such a rush of heat from that. My goodness. Huge rush of heat. Stephanie, thank you so much. I hope that was helpful, friend. I appreciate you, and I hope it was helpful. Thank you, thank you. Ooh, goodness. Thank you. Oh my goodness. All right. Jacqueline, you are up next. Come on down. Jacqueline is next, and then Colin, Jennifer, Abby, and Pauline. That is the list. Whew, holy cow. Jacqueline, come on down. There was a lot of energy moving around in that one. Lots of energy moving around in that one. Hey, Jackie. I got you. That was a lot of heat in that one. Don't be sorry. What? Listen, we're never going to apologize for stuff like that. Please don't. Please don't. All it is me recognizing the amount of energy that moved in that conversation. That's huge. Don't apologize for that. All right, Jackie. Here we go. Have a great day, Colleen. All right, Jackie, do me a favor. Take a nice, big, deep breath in all the way down to your toes. And release. Just drop your shoulders and please give me permission to have access to your energy. So, Jackie, as I come into your space, I'm literally seeing a bird floating on a current, okay? So you're in momentum. This is what they're showing me. Your pattern of behavior, however, tends to be that when you hit this momentum, your nervous system freaks out because you've been living in, I don't know if fight or flight is the right term, but you've been living in such a state of needing to solve problems all the time that your nervous system, that's where it lives. So when you hit this smooth patch, your nervous system freaks out and it starts over analyzing and going down rabbit holes it shouldn't be going down and all kinds of stuff. When really what it's more about right now is wanting you to retrain your nervous system to understand that calm is okay. That calm doesn't mean danger, right? And this is something that takes time to sort of rewire, and it's a very physical, neurological process. I feel like you're kind of in the middle of it, and that you do okay sometimes, but there are times also where you feel like you start going down the rabbit hole. The minute things start to calm down, you're like, oh no, and you go down the rabbit hole. So there is very much this call, this desire for you to just not do that. Just allow yourself to enjoy the peace for a minute. It doesn't mean that something bad is going to happen because it's quiet. The calm before the storm, yeah, I mean, sure, 50% of the time, but 50% of the time it's just freaking quiet, right? So there's this feeling of wanting you to recognize and just enjoy the quiet, okay? Jackie, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. As you move forward, as you are walking down this path of new adventure for yourself, the inner conflict that you bring with you belongs solely to you, friend. They're asking you not to do that thing you do when things are calm and you look for something to go wrong, because all it does is put you in a state of instability and knocks you out of balance, and then it recycles everything. This is what's kept your cycles repeating over and over and over again. So instead of focusing on the frustration you feel, my guys are asking yourself to just be still in the quiet. Just float with it. Just be still, right? Allow yourself to have a little bit better judgment about how you evaluate the situation you find yourself in, letting your third eye be what actually guides you and not that root being a little bit panicky because you're doing something different. My guys want you to understand you have all the support you need to move your way through this. Your biggest problem is you. Looking for something to go wrong, right? There's this feeling of not wanting you to do that anymore, to recognize that that's not where it's at, friend. Jackie, thank you so much. I am still live. Yes, exhale and flow, exactly. Jackie, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. All right, Colin, come on down and say hello. You are up next. Colin, you are next. Thank you so much for your patience with everything. I appreciate you. The list fills up quick, guys. I've tried to think of different ways. I see you, Colin. There you are. I try to think of different ways to help the list, but I don't have a good idea. So if you do, then let me know. All right, Colin, here we go. My ears are ringing loud, Colin. What's up? Frequency shift. Okay. All right, here we go. Do me a favor, friend. Take a nice, big, deep breath in all the way down to your toes. And release. Drop those shoulders. And please give me permission to have access to your energy. Thank you. I feel like I'm moving a little bit in slow motion. All right. Colin, I come into your space and there's very much this feeling of transition and frequency. Can be incredibly uncomfortable physically. This can be incredibly uncomfortable on a physical level because your physical body has to catch up with the frequency that your higher self is sending out and that you're more attuned to. As you are adjusting to these different frequencies, again, I am not using the word higher or lower because it's not better or worse, just different. We move this way on the frequency band, not this way. And even if we did move this way, it doesn't mean better, it just means different, right? So as you are shifting over in your frequency bandwidth, there's a bit of discomfort in the physical body. They're specifically giving me these feelings of like ringing ears and weird stuff with my eyes and just weird little things that are happening randomly. Just not even long enough for you to fixate on it. Not even long enough for you to go, oh my God, what's wrong? It just happens and gone, and then you don't even think about it again. But this is cellular level changes affecting your physical environment, your physical self. This is your receiver attuning itself, friend. I'm excited for you. You are kind of in the in-between, in the transition, and that can be frustrating because it feels like any one of these things that are happening, they're not sticking around long enough for me to understand what it means, kind of thing. But you're just attuning. So don't get caught up is the feeling. Just relax best you can. And I understand there's some weird stuff happening. And if you want to remember it, write it down. But also keep in mind that through the attunement process, you're picking up on some things that may or may not be helpful later on. So you may or may not reattune to them later. It's like passing through towns. Sometimes you pick up on stuff as you're moving your way along the bandwidth, right? So it doesn't always mean it's going to be there. Don't get fixated. Okay. Hope that made sense, Colin. This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. I literally almost said in a different way because that's what she's pushing me to say. This is what my guides have to say, just in a different way. They want you to understand reaching for your enthusiasm is the way to go, even though you can't feel or see how you do that or make those things work. The more you reach for the enthusiasm, the more you will recognize your ability to attune yourself in that direction. My guides want you to understand that you're being asked to see things in a different way, even though there is outside conflict around that. Not everyone is going to see, understand, or feel the same way about things as you, and that's okay. They don't have to. That doesn't mean you have to cut them out of your lives or disqualify them from being a friend. It just means maybe you don't talk about that subject with them, right? So, get out of your head. Stop telling yourself that all of your ideas have to be accepted, viewed, or understood by everybody else, and recognize that the restlessness that you are feeling, all it is you picking up on the dissonance between where you were and where you're going. That's all it is. Stop trying to ascribe it to something it's not. It's not some big thing that you have to go through a gauntlet of tests to overcome. All you're doing is picking up on the physical signature of a frequency shift, friend, right? Allow yourself to move into this new horizon, recognizing you're going somewhere you've never been, so it may be a little bit uncomfortable and it may bring some things to the surface that need to be dealt with. But when you do that, you allow the Wheel of Fortune to move around in your direction and push you where is best for you to go instead of you having to strive so hard to get there. Boy, Colin, they really wanted you to understand that. I have several other Theory of Everything videos coming out, so thank you. Oh, well, thank you, Higher Vibration. I appreciate that. Monk Chill, thank you. I appreciate you. All right, Jennifer, you are next. Colin, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Jennifer, you are next. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you. You're just in the in-between. Hello from Iran. Welcome. Hello, Jennifer. I see you. All right, Jennifer. Jennifer Wills. I'm so glad, Colin. Thank you for your time. All right, Jennifer, here we go. Do me a favor and take a nice big deep breath in all the way down to your toes. And release. Drop those shoulders and please give me permission to have access to your energy. Jennifer, your energy feels good, smooth, calm. You have a lot of lilac color in your energy. And I just saw I just saw that bunny again. Oh, I freaking love it. You have a lot of lilac color in your energy. This to me is a representation of the violet flame of healing. There's a lot of healing happening on your end in your energetic field. Like, I feel like saying atmosphere because it's all in your biosphere. The way it's being shown to me is the violet flame is like a flame. I feel silly saying that, but it's like a flame. It doesn't hurt, but it burns away things that are ready to go. So when you've been doing a lot of deep work, sometimes the violet flame will demonstrate itself as the last little push to sort of burn up the last remnants of this. When I see people working with this, often what happens is they can get very emotional, what feels like out of nowhere in the middle of their day, and they're not sure why. It was some remnant got burnt up and you felt that leave your system, right? Sometimes it's joyful, sometimes it's sad. It depends on what it is that it's getting rid of, right? None of these random emotions are random, so to speak, but they don't necessarily carry a weight on what you're dealing with because, again, this is the burning up of the remnants of something and not necessarily the actual full-on healing of something, right? So you're just getting the wispies out is the best way to put it for me. Getting the wispies out. I don't know how long this has been there. It doesn't feel like it's been there very long, but it's always an indication of growth and healing. It comes through as like the cleanup crew, right? Like you've already done the hard work. This is the cleanup crew that comes and does the dishes and cleans up all the confetti and puts everything away. The people you don't think about, the crew you don't think about. This is that very gentle energy from the universe being offered to you to clear up with it, whatever it is you've healed. So pay attention. I mean, pay attention, but don't pay attention. The little pieces of emotion that you feel that bubble to the surface randomly, feeling like they're out of place, are just the smoke from whatever is being let go. You don't have to do a deep dive, just let it out. If you feel like crying because a song has triggered that in you, then let yourself cry without needing to explain it as something. You're just moved emotionally. That's all that it needs to be, right? All right, Jennifer, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. They want you to know this is a sign of liberation from some work that you've been doing, some healing. You've moved on from this, and liberation is the name of the game. They're asking you now to reach towards your inspiration to the best of your ability as you release all of these little remnants of things in your energy. You've learned the lesson or have learned a big part of the lesson of self-sufficiency, and I understand that that was not easy, but now you're walking into a state of recovery, of putting your guard down and just allowing yourself to enjoy the results of the hard work, right? This leads you into a state of expansion where your dreams and desires are much closer at hand than they were before. King of Pentacles comes forward to say, I've got your back. This means reliability, stability, comfort, that sort of thing. That's what he's saying. I've got your back. You're going to be okay. Ooh, Jennifer, very nice. Thank you so much, friend. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I hope it was helpful. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate you. All right, Abby, you are next, and then Pauline rounds out the whole week, actually. Abby, you are next. Come on down and say hello. Hi, Abby. I see you. Abby, what does that say? Abby, I want to say it says special, but it doesn't. It says spatial. Spatial? Is that your last name? I don't know. I love it. All right, Abby, here we go. I'm excited to read for you, my friend. Thank you so much for the opportunity, your patience, and your time today. Maiden name. Love it. All right, here we go, Abby. Do me a favor. Take a nice, big, deep breath in all the way down to your toes. And release. Drop your shoulders, and please give me permission to have access to your energy. Abby, you have beautiful energy. Friend, I am just going to say what I see. I'm sorry if it weirded you out. I think a lot of what you're receiving is very real in this time, space, meridian, but not coming from humanity. If that makes sense to you. Okay, so I think that there's some inspiration and ideas that you're starting to receive as a channel that is opening you up to be able to attune your frequency in such a way to receive from non-human intelligence. I am just going to relay to you what I'm picking up. The idea of disclosure is very close. It is imminent, is the word I'm being given. And around the world, there are those of us who have worked on ourselves enough to be able to attune our frequency in such a way to better understand what's being offered by them, because they're the next frequency band over, right? So to get there, we have to come this way. They have to come this way. Not everybody's willing to come this way, right? That's one of something something that they're pointing out. Sorry, you might have missed something. I hope not. But I want you to understand that that frequency is starting to attune itself in your space. Whatever it looks like, I don't know how it resonates for you, like how it comes through physically, but I can tell you it doesn't originate here on this with humanity. This is a signal outside of self. Right? And I don't feel like you've missed anything. I think you're just starting to tune yourself to it purposely. It's just now starting to get louder because there was no need for it to be louder up until now. Do you see what I'm saying? So as this attunement starts to come in, this will come in clearer and clearer. Your job is going to be not to get too tangled up in what you think it means and allow it to be what it is, right? Like, you got to be careful that you're not looking too hard at something and saying, well, it has to fit into this definition. It has to look a certain way. It has to feel a certain way. That's not necessarily true. You're dealing with things that you've never dealt with before, so you're not going to have a good understanding of what the expectation should be around it. So be careful about that, okay? Abby, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. You are walking into a time of renewal, and you are being asked to step forward in this lesson of self-sufficiency. What you're receiving is what you're receiving. Doesn't matter if anyone else can understand, receive, or process it. It's what you're receiving. You have around you, unfortunately, it feels like a group of people or an organization or something that may not be super conducive to all the information that you are receiving or the attunement that you're going through. This can cause a feeling of hesitation in your energy. Should I do this because they're going to think I'm weird? And it can slow things down. My guides are bringing that hesitation to the surface and saying we need to reevaluate this, because all it's doing is causing a sense of disharmony in your space. While yes, you are still learning discernment about those signals, you are right. So keep moving forward with it, right? You're picking up on a new role that you've prepared for yourself, right? You are stepping into this role and you are calling together the cooperative components to help support you on this journey. Doesn't mean there isn't work involved. It doesn't mean there isn't conflict involved. What it means is that you will hear most clearly when you listen through your heart space. Boy, that came in like a rush. So hopefully you got all that, friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I hope that was helpful. Abby, thank you so much, friend. I appreciate you. I hope that was helpful. Sorry, I'm just trying to get back to where I was. All right. Abby, thank you so very, very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Pauline. You're up, Pauline. Come on down. Hello, Pauline. I'm ready for you too. The reading that was determined to be, right? All right, Pauline, here we go. Do me a favor. Take a nice big deep breath in all the way down to your toes. And release. Drop your shoulders and please give me permission to have access to your energy. I don't know if you saw it, but I definitely felt the light come through the clouds as I tapped into your energy. You're at the edge of a breakthrough. All right, Pauline. This feels related to something outside of yourself, perhaps a business or a relationship. I don't know which one. They feel almost the same to me. There is a breakthrough coming forward. And I feel as though this is a hard one breakthrough, but not one where you're necessarily having to walk away from something. It's as if I was given all the clues and I sat down and I put it together. And now I understand. And that will allow me to work more easily with this tool outside of myself. Again, this feels related to either a relationship or a business. And I have to be 100% honest, they feel almost exactly the same to me, because as someone participating in both, they feel the same, right? You give a lot of yourself and sometimes you feel underappreciated and all this stuff. There's a breakthrough here, though, and I feel like that's the headline of this reading, Pauline, is whatever this is, it feels like it's been a while I've been focused on and working towards a breakthrough or working towards a resolution of some kind. It doesn't feel like this is quick. It doesn't feel like this is something that just happens. This feels like something hard earned and worked towards, and it feels important that you take responsibility for that work. Responsibility has a bad connotation to it, but you want to give yourself credit for the work, right? Like, don't hand it off and say, oh, I did this because so-and-so did it for me or whatever. No. These were all small choices and decisions that you consciously made one after the other to move yourself in the direction you actually wanted to go, rather than throwing yourself on your back and turtling and going, I can't help myself, which is what a lot of people do. You laid there and said, okay, how do I flip over, right? And that feels like a huge piece of empowerment, because it feels long coming, like a long time coming, right? I'm very excited for you, Pauline. This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. They are acknowledging that there was conflict in your space, and they are acknowledging that you took the time to turn inward and figure out, how do I fix this? Working your way through some of the materialist problems that you had, but necessarily to open yourself up to a massive amount of spiritual growth. My friend, all this self-evaluation that you've been doing has absolutely led you to this point, and you are at the point of breakthrough. The thing that comes forward with this is be careful, because you are a beautiful, nurturing soul and you want to help other people. There are people around you who are happy to take advantage of that, regardless if it's conscious or unconscious, it still happens. So be careful. I'm not telling you not to care for people. I'm not telling you any of that. I'm saying be mindful. Okay? This may require you to confront some of the things that you are doing for other people, and that may even bring up a little bit of inner conflict. But when you calm down the noise of what they're saying and what you're saying, I think you'll realize there are some areas that need some evaluation. King of Pentacles comes forward to say that whatever this is that you're moving your way into, as uncomfortable as it feels, you are the one who manifested this, and it brings with it a feeling of reliability, stability, structure, a stable base, all the good feels, and you are the one who brought this forward. So give yourself the credit for that, please, Pauline. Pauline, thank you so much, not just for allowing me to read for you, but for all of your patience through everything we've been working our way through. I'm glad we were able to connect, and I truly hope that that was helpful. To everyone watching on the replay, thank you so much for being here. For my mods, Chrissy, Meta, and Whitney, thank you so much for all of your help. I really appreciate you. If you want a private reading, you can always find me at consciouslyerin.com. My readings come in 30, 50, and 20-minute sessions. To best utilize the time together, come with questions. It is difficult for me to start a session when someone says, just tell me whatever I need to know, because the type of energy I am, I need to be invited. The questions you ask are going to invite me into your space. A lot of times you only ask 1 or 2 questions, and we have an hour's worth of conversation that actually covers everything, but I need you to invite me in. So keep that in mind. I will be live later today at 1 p.m. Central Time on TikTok with Spirituality with Sam. We're going to have a great conversation. Come hang out. And then I will be live again on Facebook at 7 p.m. Central with Melissa. She's going to do a pet reading for me, and we'll have a great conversation. So come hang out. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you, everybody, for being here with me. I appreciate you. Thank you for all of your help. Wade, thank you very much. Oh, you know what? I actually already sent the other Erin her refund. So I'm so sorry, but I didn't see her, so I sent the refund because I wasn't comfortable. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Thank you guys. I will see you at another time. Have a great day.